Welcome to MEA TV. This is the House of Law, and I'm attorney Lillia Tika. Today, we have attorney Stephen Linden with us as well. We're going to give you some of our background information, legal advice, legal discussions. We're going to give you some updates with the law, updates with the news. But first, we're going to start off with giving you some of our background information, like I stated. I was born and raised in Detroit, 7 Mile for me. And I actually ended up moving to Ferndale after that, which I spent most of my childhood. I then went to Warren Mount High School, which I spent, the past, I don't know how long in Warren. And I went to Oakland University. I got my political science degree from Oakland University. And I'm not sure why I chose political science, I guess. It was one of the choices that we had if I wanted to go to law school, which I did ever since I was young. I always was passionate for the law and finding justice, and here I am today. After Oakland University, I attended the University of Detroit Mercy School of Law. I went there for 3 years. I really enjoyed it. It was a whole different experience from undergrad and high school and all of that. Studying was completely different. And then I, of course, studied for the bar, which was another monster to tackle. And during law school, I actually started off my first summer there interning for the Wayne County Corporation Council with the health department. I actually was the one that drafted, I don't know if it's still in place, but I drafted probate documents for Wayne County, and I believe they were accepted. Hopefully they're still being used today. And after that, I ended up clerking for Judge Talon at the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice, which I really enjoyed. When I first actually wanted to practice law, I wanted to do criminal defense or even becoming a prosecutor. But I do criminal defense now and I really enjoy it. But I was really into the criminal specialty and still am. And I learned a lot clerking for Judge Talon because I would be able to sit down and watch everything, watch the trials, give him feedback, write his motions. So it was probably my favorite experience that I had while in law school. And then after that, I ended up working with attorney Frank Eman, doing a lot of appellate work, which was completely different from what I was doing before. And I also enjoyed that a lot. When I finally got licensed, I ended up working with Mr. Alshir Newby, which I'm sure a lot of people know in our community. Wonderful person to work with. I learned a lot, he taught me a lot, and that's where I met attorney Stephen Linden here. And we're still together today. And I'm gonna go ahead and give it over to Stephen so he can tell us a little about himself.
Thank you. And it's amazing how many things we have similar and how many that aren't so still same. Like you, I grew up in Detroit off of 8 Mile Road. I attended elementary school at Vandenberg Elementary in Detroit, moved to Oak Park, which is not far from Ferndale, and went to Berkeley schools. When I graduated from high school, I managed to obtain a scholarship to the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. Got a degree in history, and then went to Wayne State Law School, graduated in 1972 when Richard Nixon was president. And after I graduated law school, I took the bar right away and started practicing almost immediately. A lot of what I did initially, like you, Frank Murphy Hall of Justice, I did a lot of criminal jury trials on criminal assignments. You certainly learn a lot working down there. You see a lot down there, things that people probably would not even believe at Frank Murphy. I kind of miss it. I haven't been there in a while. And then after Frank Murphy and doing criminal assignments, I went out on my own. I've also worked for several law firms during my 40-some years practicing. I practice in all the courts in the Tri-County area. I traveled all over the state of Michigan. I'm licensed in the federal system as well. I've attended appeals in Cincinnati in the federal system, and have even appeared in the United States Supreme Court. And basically, I like what I do. I enjoy what I do. I look forward to each day. And it is a little different being here with you, but it's still the law.
Yeah, it is. And we can discuss it on live television and people can learn as well. And I think it's amazing just watching people who actually love what they do, love their profession, and it shows.
It certainly makes life a lot more enjoyable.
Absolutely. And I know before we started the show, you were telling me about, a little bit about the new law that took place actually yesterday with no fault. And if you want to kind of give us some information, I'm sure it'll be helpful to many of our viewers.
Yeah, well, that is one thing that a lot of people are going to be interested in, and because it's going to make a difference in a lot of people's lives, because there is going to be an ability to hopefully save some money on your insurance premiums. And I know everybody here in Michigan has complained about it because we do have the highest insurance premiums in the country, but that was because of the Michigan no-fault law. The PIP benefits had a requirement that the insurance company had to give you unlimited medical care. So if you were involved in an automobile accident, and it didn't matter whether you were at fault, whether you were a passenger or a driver, somewhere there was an insurance company that would provide you with lifetime medical treatments. And I've seen my practice, you've seen it too, Lillia, that there are some people who are hurt in an automobile accident who do require continuing treatment for years and years and years. So in some cases, it has been a godsend. But the way the law has changed is now consumers are going to be able to have some sort of choice as to whether or not they want that unlimited medical care or whether they want something limited. There is, I believe, a $50,000 cap on medical benefits under one plan, $250,000 I think on the other, $500,000, and if you have health insurance of your own that'll cover car accidents, and everybody in your household has the same medical coverage or similar medical coverage, you can opt out of paying for PIP entirely, which is a substantial savings. But it's still early. The law has just changed. I think part of it is that rather than everybody switching over now and making a decision, you're more or less stuck with either contacting your insurance company and telling what you want, or waiting until your policy expires and then finding out about it. So it's to a lot of people, it's going to be a big difference, but I'm not exactly sure when. I mean, that's part of the thing.
Now, I do have a couple of questions. So, do you think that people will be able to, in your professional opinion, I guess, I mean, it's not, we don't know how it's going to play out, so nobody hold us to this. But do you think that people will be able to save more money now with a new law, or?
It's a great question, because when I started practicing, Michigan had at-fault law. In other words, if you were injured and it was the other driver's fault, you could sue them for your pain and suffering, but that was basically it. So we switched to no fault, and the idea was everybody was going to save money. Well, lo and behold, everybody's rates went up. I don't know anybody that saved any money when we switched over.
Right.
So we'll see how this one plays out. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be different. I think part of the aspect of the law that's going to take some while to define is collecting for your medical. If you're over that, let's say you get a $50,000 PIP policy and you're hurt in an automobile accident and you're hospitalized for months and months and months and you have $1 million medical bill, you are going to be able to sue for the difference between that $50,000 policy and the $1 million. So what that means is, too, is at the same token, you're going to need more liability insurance.
Right.
Because if somebody who only has a $50,000 policy gets hurt and sues you, you're going to be responsible for paying it. Right. So it may be that it evens out. I don't know how it's going to shake out yet. It's too early to tell.
Right. Now, with PIP benefits, now do you have a choice whether or not you would like to choose the PIP benefits? Do you have an option to opt out? Compared to how it was before.
With the July 2nd changes, if you have health insurance of your own that covers automobile accidents, and everybody in your household has health insurance that covers automobile accidents, you can opt out of PIP entirely, which means you're not paying for any of that medical coverage. and it should be a substantial savings, I would think. But at the same time, like I said, with the last change in the law, and it was supposed to save everybody money,
And did it end up?
no savings,
Yeah.
none.
It ended up making it worse. Yeah, I understand. I mean, we'll see how it plays out. What we'll do is we'll update everybody as we go on and we learn more, and case law comes out on that, because eventually it will. We'll update everybody on our show as well as on our social media pages. We have an Instagram, the House of Law. We have a Facebook page, the House of Law, and as well as a Twitter page where we update all of our potential clients or anybody else that follows us on those pages. And I know this is a big deal for a lot of us because we all pay for insurance. And I think that, attorneys would be the best ones to go to learn more about what's going on and what your liabilities are and what's best for everyone. So we'll be,
It's a very confusing subject. Even a lot of attorneys who don't do work in automobile accidents don't understand basically what the No Fault Act compromises. And what a lot of people don't understand too is you still can make a claim for what we call serious permanent injury against the other driver if they're at fault. But there has to be a couple of things. There has to be a serious permanent injury that has some sort of impact on your life. And what that means is usually at least not being able to work, not being able to do something you used to do before, a change in your life. The other thing is there has to be an objective finding that shows up that you did suffer an injury. And that's changed a little. Recently, some of the cases that have come down have said that pain is an objective manifestation. That's a change in the law. It used to be you had to have something that showed up on a test, an X-ray, an MRI. Well,
and now with that, I know that arthritis, if you have arthritis, it kind of limits your ability to recover. It's actually more difficult than not to actually recover with that claim.
Pain and suffering, what we call, quote, third-party claims in Michigan no fault, are very difficult to recover on. And the insurance companies, unfortunately, defend those claims vigorously. It used to be, years ago, they were more amenable to settling claims and resolving things, but it's gotten so that they'd rather litigate than settle a claim.
Absolutely. And I also want to bring up another thing. We talk about the statute of limitations on each claim, because I'm sure a lot of our viewers probably don't know that there is a statute of limitations for each claim, and what benefits you have. And if you pass that statute of limitations, do you still have benefits? If so, what are they? Because I know that we've both been through that with our clients. I know a lot of clients will call several years later, or they didn't seek treatment immediately, and that changes everything.
Yeah, that is a big issue, especially with the PIP benefits, because the No Fault Act requires that you report an accident, and if you don't report it within the year or make your claim within a year and get paid for those benefits within a year, which is a very short time period, then you're barred from ever getting those benefits. So a lot of people wait. They don't do anything. In fact, we have people come to see us who get involved in an accident and never tell their insurance company, which could be a big mistake.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially personal injury. Somebody gets in an accident, they don't feel it that day. They tell the police, "Oh, I'm okay," and then a week later they're going to the emergency room and it comes back to haunt them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, because it looks like there's something going on. I believe what I briefly read, now don't hold me to this, but they are, with this new law or these new changes, I guess there is a new group that investigates these claims. I don't know if you've read up on that.
I heard something about that.
But they are, they actually, I believe they started a whole team that will be doing that. They will be investigating any fraudulent claims or anything like that, which, in my opinion, will probably end up placing more restrictions on lawsuits, I guess.
I'm sure that's what they're going to be looking at thoroughly. Under the old act, there were, I know, a lot of claims of fraud and double billing and padding bills, and attorneys who were running clinics and sending their clients there. hopefully under the new act, things will shake out a little better. But unfortunately, too, when you're talking about so much money and people being hurt, the system tends to get corrupt.
Absolutely. And they'll find loopholes and whatnot. But, I mean, just be careful, I guess, make sure you take the right steps. And
be honest,
Be honest and give us a call immediately. Give any personal injury attorney a call just for legal advice at least, so you know.
This is a great topic because one of the really big issues with the insurance companies right now, the no-fault carriers, is the fraud issue. There was a case that came down, Bozzi versus, I don't remember which insurance company, Allstate I think it was, and what the court said was, if you make a claim and part of it is wrong, like you're asking for your lost wages and they find out, oh, you were able to work, they get you on camera changing a tire on a car. Fraud bars the whole claim, so your thousands of dollars. Medical bills don't get paid, your providers don't get paid, nothing gets paid. And the insurance companies have really latched onto that and really hammered it.
Absolutely. And again, if you have any questions with regard to personal injury or anything of that nature or anything else that we actually specialize in, or even if we don't specialize in those areas, we'll lead you in the right direction. If you have any questions, you can call Stephen or myself. My phone number is 586-372-5169. Again, my telephone number is 586-372-5169.
And my cell number, in case you want to give me a call, is 248-225-8854. And we do welcome your calls. We do give consultations. If you have a legal problem, you're more than welcome to give Lillia or myself a call and come in and see us and talk to us.
Absolutely. And like most laws, I mean, there is a statute of limitations. So make sure that you call an attorney on time to get your full benefits. You want your full benefits. If you're injured, you want to be able to recover your full benefits. You don't want any issues because you were too late. You don't want, to lose any benefits that you are entitled to if you're truly injured. I mean, it breaks my heart to see that happen, all because you missed a deadline. So give us a call. We'll be more than happy to answer any questions, more than happy to help you with any issues that you may have, or even if it's something that's unrelated to personal injury and it's something about family law, we both cover that as well. Give us a call. We'll be more than happy to help you out. And Stephen, if you want to add anything else.
Well, the consulting with an attorney when you're in an accident is great advice because the system is changing. They've made it complicated. They're going to make it more complicated. An attorney can help you really put together your claim to make sure you get the benefits that you're entitled to. And most attorneys like us, if we're working on an accident case, we only get paid if we collect for you. There's no fees up front. We don't charge you if we don't collect. So it can be a great benefit with no cost.
Absolutely. And any last words before we end the show today? Our viewers?
Well, I just want to repeat what we just said. If you have a legal problem, give us a call. If not us, find a good attorney in your locality. I think usually a referral from a friend or a relative is the best way to do it because they know you've dealt with them and had some success. But you call the Bar Association or you can call us. We'll be glad to refer you to somebody who's with some expertise.
Absolutely. And I would say the same thing as well. Give us a call and if we can't answer your questions, we'll lead you in the right direction. We'll be more than happy to do that. And until next time, we hope you enjoyed our show and we'll see you next week.